it's Anna. Welcome. Thanks for joining me. Today I am interviewing a dear friend of mine, Morgan Gray. Morgan and I went to high school together. We've known each other for a very long time. And she does a lot of community theater here in Minneapolis. She's also in an improv troupe that is newer, and I think they're having their first show this month. I'll connect to the Facebook event down below, and also some information about her Twitter, her Instagram, all those fun things. I'll be connected so you can check her out. I hope you enjoy the interview.
I'm like, hi.
Hello.
Hello.
I have my friend Morgan Gray with me today.
Hello. Yes.
Morgan and I actually went to high school together.
It's true.
She does a lot of improv. Her Twitter is hilarious. You should
Thank you.
check out her Twitter.
It's all I do. Mostly it's Twitter.
Yes. And she also has done a lot of shows with, what is the company called?
Theater 301.
Theater
Yes,
301.
Thank you.
It's a really great community theater company.
Yes.
And so tell me just a little bit about, or tell them, because I know. Tell
Dear viewers.
them just a little bit about your background in performing and how you kind of went from performing with me in high school to kind of doing what you're doing today.
Yeah, so we were both in a show called 110 in the Shade. And yeah, I'd done theater in the past, kind of here and there, but I feel like that's, to be completely honest, where I found a lot of my friends, and I was like, this is so fun. This is mostly what I want to do after school. And then college came around, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. Yeah, I wasn't really sure if I wanted to pursue theater. It's something I still enjoyed. I ended up still taking voice lessons throughout most of college, which I still enjoyed, did choir. But I didn't do a lot of theater, which, looking back, I don't know if I'd say I regret, but I think it's something that for whatever reason I'm here to be a scholar, which I am not. I don't know why I was it's time to focus on what. I ended up doing did a radio show with my friend and a lot of our other friends on patrol. It was a lot of fun. It was basically sketch work and bits and interviews, and I kind of found an outlet through that, and I think that's sort of what solidified a lot of which I knew I had always had, but kind of my interest in comedy as well. But then I graduated and moved back to Minnesota and didn't have a job. And I think, yeah, I felt I think something that I always enjoyed about doing theater, and I mean really just the arts in general, is the community provides and the outlet that it provides too. So yeah, I was just looking online and looked up Minnesota playlist, and I was like, I guess I could audition. And then I did, got into a community theater show, and now I'm sitting
And now you're sitting
on
here
your couch,
on my couch.
and I'm here. It kind of feels like inside the actor's studio. What is your favorite curse word?
So community theater. But what I think is so cool about theater is that as a person who doesn't want to pursue it as a career path, you can still do it as something outside of work to fulfill that creative spirit.
Yeah, really the first show I did back when I moved back here to Minneapolis was through Theater 301. It was Little Women, and I went in the audition I was like, God, I haven't auditioned for anything in years, but I was just It was really cool to find an environment that was so supportive, because I think by the time I got to college I felt a little bit, you would kind of have to make your own stuff, and or unless you were a theater student. What's great about community theater is that I think it's either great for if you truly just want to do it as a hobby, and it's something that you still love. Like there's still like a lot of talented people who like are, you know, they work in an office, but they also do community theater, and it's super awesome. Or if you're kind of getting back into it, you know, doing community theater and just getting to know people in the community, and I don't know, just honestly like learning about like different people from like different walks of life. Like there are people who do community theater who are still students. There are people who do community theater who are, you know, in their 60s and 70s, and just learning people's stories and all of that. So I think that's something I've really enjoyed about it. And like I do not know all of the community theaters in Minnesota, but the ones I've been a part of, you can actually have some like really solid productions too, and it's like cool to see.
They're like actually like top notch.
Yeah, and it's like that's fun, and it just feels good, you know. Community theater, it just feels good.
Talk a little bit about like comedy and improv. You know, you're now part of this kind of like new upcoming kind of improv troupe. I don't know, is that what
I think troupe is correct. But yeah, I've, not to brag, I've always liked comedy.
You've always been funny.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's always been like a nice outlet for me. I think it's how I like to interact with people, and yeah, I feel like Minneapolis is like kind of an upcoming scene for that, and I feel like it's something I'm just getting into, because I will be quite honest, I'm really not that experienced of an improviser, and it's been fun kind of getting back into that and taking classes and stuff like that. But what I also like is, I don't know, I feel like a lot of ways, just with anything, whether it's comedy or if you do music or whatever, sketch or whatever you're interested in, it's cool now that you have different outlets where you can kind of just start to make stuff. Yeah, I'm on Twitter a lot.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that.
Yeah.
How do you compose your tweets? What is like your...
I wake up and it's just like notebooks filled with ideas. I don't know. Twitter is also just a wild place because it can be very toxic and weird in terms of
all
like...
social media.
All social media. Yeah, let's be real. But we're addicted to it. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've done a little bit of writing, a little bit of sketch writing. I wrote a couple think pieces. People now have the opportunity, and I guess like they always have, but to just like, if you like doing something, just go out and do it. And that sounds very, not to sound condescending or even corny, but I think if you just start making your own content, and I hate the word content, but I don't know, just start writing, or with your friends if you want to start making sketches and putting them online, or just finding a friend and writing with them and bouncing ideas off of each other. I think it's really gratifying to just make stuff for yourself, because I mean I do community theater and stuff like that and audition, but if you happen to not be in anything at the moment, it's nice to know that you have, you know, creative tools in your back pocket. But yeah,
well, it's nice to create that community, what you were talking about with community theater and with professional theater as well. It's like nice to have a community of people who are always doing things and who are developing and who you can bounce ideas off of, or you can, you know, start to create something and be like, is this like a good idea? Like, what do you think about it? Does it speak to you? You know? And I think just having that kind of community in Minneapolis is a great place to be doing that. And
yeah,
there are a lot of people creating, which is just fucking awesome.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah, people just, I don't know what it is in Minneapolis, maybe because people are just like, I don't know, cooped up inside. They're like, the weather's not nice enough. It's like I have to use my brain, or I can't do anything else. I also doodle. Yeah, I kind of want to start doing like more cartoons, but then it's like, oh, I end up watching TV.
Let's talk about rejection and like putting yourself out there and your experience with rejection. Shoot.
Yeah, rejection sucks, and it's never fun. Half the time I won't even go to auditions just because I'm like, ugh, I won't get that, or I won't, why would I even try? Which is so defeatist, and it's something that I want to start not doing, because just doing it is, I feel like almost just as important as getting something from that, because you do have that experience and you learn some sort of skill from that. It's just easier said than done, because I feel like there have been so many times where like I'm with my mom, I'm like, I shouldn't even try anymore. Why? If I didn't get it, I shouldn't be doing this. And it's like, then you spiral and you do all of this like negative self-talk, which like really gets you nowhere, which I'm still learning. I'm still learning that, truly. But yeah, I mean, it's something that sucks, but I feel like with anything, sadly, like the more you do it, the more you, not even sadly, but just the more you do it, the more you get used to it and coming around to the idea that, even if I don't get this thing, like something else will come up, or you just never really know.
What is your most embarrassing audition story?
I think I did audition for the musical once in college, and I sang a song from like HMS Pinafore, which like, why? I sang horribly, and like it just was like awkward. It was like on the stage, and
like your voice is shaking.
Yeah,
like
not quite that bad, but in the same vein. And I think that kind of sent me on like a spiral. I'm like, I thought I could sing. But yeah, I would say that was, I mean, it wasn't like I flipped over a table on accident or like did something like wild, but it just was like, I felt like shaken to my core after. It just was not, it was not great for the old confidence, but you just gotta keep on trucking.
How have you like gotten over nerves? Or have you gotten over nerves?
No, not at all. I'm nervous all the time.
But do you have any like strategies of like, okay, I feel really nervous right now, but this is how I'm gonna like deal with it. Like deep breathing or like power poses.
Yeah, I feel like in terms of nerves, just kind of, even though like, or if I go into something where I know it's like, oh my God, everyone here is probably like a professional and I am so clearly not, or just, you never really know. But I think just allowing yourself to say like, I got some skills, I've got a right to be here. Yeah. I've done good things in the past. It's not like one thing is going to, determine everything else. So I don't know if I have any specific methods, because I hate auditioning and I still get very nervous, but I think I try to almost envision myself like I'm already in the show. My fantasy life is really through so many hardships. Yeah, like just like growing up, like imagining myself like winning an Oscar. I was like, what would I say? Like, who would I thank?
So, where can people find you?
My address? No, kidding. I am on, I was about to say Facebook. I guess people use Facebook. On Facebook, my name's Morgan Gray, Gray. Don't send me any DMs. Just kidding.
Do send her DMs.
I'm on Instagram. I don't post a lot of pictures, but I post a lot of dumb stuff. It's the written out of Nyari. So it's I think it's 4 M's, MMM, and the word alright, ALRIGHT. No one cares. I don't know why I'm spelling it out. And then I think I'm on Twitter.
You are definitely on
most
Twitter.
days. Like at least like 9 to 7.
Business hours only.
Business hours only. Weekends are for family. And I think my Twitter handle is at Morgan A. Gray. So
makes sense.
That would make sense. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
Cool. Well, follow her. She's hilarious.
Thank you.
And I think that's a wrap.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Yeah! It was fun.
Yay!